Hey everyone, shalom, shalom alechem. It's Sarah. Today is Monday, the 31st of October, and I thought as people indulge in whatever their festivities are, I wanted to combat that energy in a way and just put some education and just some information out there that I think is good while we are in that time when so many things are being conjured up, if you will. So I wanted to come on here and read like something that truly, like at a soul level, spooked me out, but in a good way of like, man, like the road is really narrow and these things, these powers and principalities, these demons, these spirits are truly real. And I teach my children that, and I teach them that we don't celebrate Halloween for these reasons because this stuff is very real. It's not fake. It's extremely real, and we better not play with it. But this is kind of a different side of things. So this is called the Testament of Solomon. You can find it in the Pseudepigrapha. It is read, I believe, in some Orthodox churches, as well as just like certain Jewish communities. So anyway, I will begin now. Please excuse the breathiness. I am currently 7 months pregnant, so perhaps I shouldn't be reading, but I wanted to anyway. So without further ado, the Testament of Solomon, and it begins. Testament of Solomon, son of David, who reigned in Jerusalem and subdued all the spirits of the air, of the earth, and under the earth. Through them he also accomplished all the magnificent works of the temple. This tells what their authorities are against men and by what angels these demons are thwarted. Blessed are you, Master God, who has given his authority to Solomon. Glory and power to you forever. Amen. Once upon a time, when the temple of the city of Jerusalem was being built and the artisans were working on it, Orneus, the demon, came as the sun was setting and took half the wages and provisions of the master workman's little boy. Also, each day the demon was sucking the thumb of the boy's right hand, so the little boy, who is much loved by me, grew thin. But I, Solomon, interrogated the boy one day and said to him, Have I not loved you more than all the other artisans working in the temple of God? And have I not been paying you double wages and provisions? Why then are you growing thinner every day? The boy said, I beg you, king, listen to what is happening to me. After we are dismissed from work on the temple of God, when the sun has set and I am resting, an evil spirit comes and makes off with half my pay and half my provisions. Also, he grabs my right hand and sucks my thumb. You can see that when my soul is in distress, my body grows thinner every day. When I, Solomon, heard these things, I went into the temple of God, and praising him day and night, begged with all my soul that the demon might be delivered into my hands, and that I might have authority over him. Then it happened that while I was praying to the God of heaven and earth, there was granted me from the Master Sabaoth through the archangel Michael a ring which had a seal engraved on precious stone. He said to me, Solomon, son of David, take the gift which Master God, the highest Sabaoth, has given to you. With it you shall imprison all the demons, both male and female, and with their help you shall build Jerusalem when you bear the seal of God. Now I became so joyful that I continually sang hymns of praise to the God of heaven and earth and glorified him. The next day I ordered the child to come to me, and I gave the seal to him. Then I said to him, At the moment the demon appears to you, fling this ring into his chest and say to him, Come, Solomon summons you. And come running back to me as fast as you can before he says anything that would frighten you. Now it happened that at his usual time the pesky demon Orneus came like a flaming fire to take the little boy's pay, as was his custom. According to Solomon's instructions to him, the little boy flung the ring into the chest of the demon and said to him, Come, Solomon summons you, and started off to take off running to Solomon as fast as he could go. But the demon screamed and said to the little boy, "Why have you done this? Remove the ring and give it back to Solomon, and I shall give you all the silver and gold of the earth." But the little boy replied, "As the Master God of Israel lives, I will never withstand you if I do not deliver you to Solomon." Then the little boy went and spoke to Solomon. "King Solomon, I brought the demon to you just as you commanded me. Observe how he is standing bound in front of the gates outside, crying out with a great voice to give me all the silver and gold of the earth so that I would not deliver him to you." When I heard these things, I, Solomon, got up from my throne and saw the demon shuddering and trembling with fear. I said to him, "Who are you? What is your name?" The demon replied, "I am called Orneus." I said to him, "Tell me, in which sign of the zodiac do you reside?" The demon replied, "In Aquarius. I strangle those who reside in Aquarius because of their passion for women, whose zodiacal sign is Virgo. Moreover, while in a trance, I undergo 3 transformations. Sometimes I am a man who craves the bodies of effeminate boys, and when I touch them, they suffer great pain. Sometimes I become a creature with wings flying up to the heavenly regions. Finally, I assume the appearance of a lion. In addition, I am descended from an archangel of the power of God, but I am thwarted by Uriel, the archangel." When I, Solomon, heard the archangel's name mentioned, I honored and glorified the God of heaven and earth. After I sealed the demon with my seal, I ordered him into the stone quarry to cut for the temple stones, which had been transported by way of the Arabian Sea and dumped along the seashore. But being terrified to touch iron, he said to me, "I beg you, King Solomon, let me have a measure of freedom, and I shall bring up all the demons." Since he did not want to be subject to me, I prayed that the archangel Uriel would come to help me. Immediately, I saw the archangel Uriel descending to me from heaven. The angel commanded sea monsters to arise out of the sea, and he withered up their species and cast his fate to the ground. In the same way, he also subjected the great demon Orneus to cut stones and to bring to completion the construction of the temple which I, Solomon, was in the process of building. Again, I glorified the God of heaven and earth, and I commanded Orneus to come near according to his fate. Then I gave him the seal and said, "Go and bring here to me the prince of demons." Chapter 3. So Orneus took the ring and went to Beelzebul and said to him, "Come, Solomon summons you." But Beelzebul said to him, "Tell me, who is the Solomon of whom you speak?" Then Orneus flung the ring into the chest of Beelzebul and replied, "Solomon, the king summons you." I don't even like saying these names, so I'm purposely trying to mispronounce them because I don't even like it. We'll call him Big B. Big B cried out like one who was burned from a great burning flame of fire. And when he had gotten up, he followed Ornea under coercion to come to me. When I saw the prince of demons approaching, I glorified God and said, "Blessed are you, Lord God Almighty, who has granted to your servant Solomon wisdom, the attendant of your thrones, and who has placed in subjection all the power of the demons." Then I interrogated him and said, "Tell me, who are you?" The demon said, "I am Big B, the ruler of the demons." I demanded that without interruption he sit next to me and explain the manifestations of the demons. Then he promised to bring to me all the unclean spirits bound. Again, I glorified the God of heaven and earth, continually giving thanks to him. Chapter 4. I now asked the demon if there were any female demons. When he replied that there were, I said that I wanted to see one. Big B went off and showed me on a scale, who had a very beautiful form. Her body was that of a woman with a fair complexion, but her legs were those of a mule. When she came to me, I said to her, "Tell me who you are." She responded, "My name is Orneus. I am a spirit which has been made into a body. I recline in a den on the earth. I make my home in caves. However, I have a many-sided character. Sometimes I strangle men. Sometimes I pervert them from their true natures. Most of the time, my habitats are cliffs, caves, and ravines. Frequently, I also associate with men who think of me as a woman, especially with those whose skin is honey-colored, for we are of the same constellation. It is also true that they worship my stars secretly and openly. They do not know that they deceive themselves and excite me to be an evildoer all the more. Sorry, my camera, the battery is low, so I keep checking to see when it goes out. They do not know that they deceive themselves and excite me to be an evildoer all the more, for they want to obtain gold by remembering me, but I grant little to those who seriously worship me. Next, I asked her how she came into being. She said, "I was generated from an unexpected voice, which is called a voice of the echo of a black heaven, emitted in matter." I said to her, "By what heavenly body do you travel?" She replied, "By the full moon, because by the moon I pass over more things." Then I said, "What angel thwarts you?" She responded, "One that is also in you, king." Now, because I thought these remarks were meant in ridicule, I commanded a soldier to strike her. But she cried out in a loud voice and said, "I say to you, king, by God's wisdom, I have been entrusted to your power." So I uttered the name of the Holy One of Israel and commanded her to spin the hemp for the ropes used in the construction of the temple of God. She was sealed and bound in such a way that she was made powerless, so that she had to stand day and night to spin the hemp. And I'll stop there before continuing with chapter 5. 9 o'clock on the dot. It is 9 o'clock p.m. And I figured I would go ahead and try to, I don't know if I'm going to finish all of it, but at least like knock out a bunch of chunks of reading here before I get too tired and it's time for bed. I really wanted to get this out by tonight. I don't know if I will, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good reading no matter, like what day I actually get it out. So this is the Testament of Solomon, and this is chapter 5. I commanded another demon be brought to me, and he, big B, brought me the evil demon Asmode. I'm shortening all the names because there is that verse that talks about not mentioning the names of like other gods or like, demons and stuff, and I just don't like saying their names. So I'm shortening their names. If you want to see their actual names, then just go read the Testament of Solomon. Okay, Asmode. Bound. I asked him, "Who are you?" He scowled at me and said, "And who are you?" I said to him, "You dare to answer so arrogantly when you have been punished like this?" He continued to give forth the same look and said to me, "How should I answer you? You are the son of a man, but although I was born of a human mother, I am the son of an angel. It is impossible for one of heavenly origin to speak an arrogant word to one of earthly origin. My constellation is like an animal which reclines in its den in heaven. Some men call me the great bear, but others the offspring of a dragon. Moreover, a smaller constellation accompanies my constellation. For the high position and throne of my father is always in the sky. So do not ask me so many things, Solomon, for eventually your kingdom will be divided. This glory of yours is temporary. You have us to torture for a little while. Then we shall disperse among human beings again, with the result that we shall be worshipped as gods, because men do not know the names of the angels who rule over us." I'm getting so out of breath, you guys. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Verse 6. When I, Solomon, heard these things, I bound him with greater care. Then I ordered him to be flogged with a rod and to defend himself by stating his name and reporting his activity. The demon stated, I am the renowned Asmode. I cause the wickedness of men to spread throughout the world. I am always hatching plots against newlyweds. I mar the beauty of virgins and cause their hearts to grow cold. I said to him, Is this all you do? He spoke again. I spread madness about women through the stars, and I have often committed a rash of murders. Then I adjured him by the name of the Master Sabaoth, Asmode, fear God, and tell me by which angel you are thwarted. The demon said, Raphael, the one who stands before God. But also a liver and a gall of fish, smoking on coals of charcoal drives me away. I asked him again, saying, Do not hide anything from me, for I am Solomon, son of David. Tell me the name of the fish you fear. He replied, It is called the sheepfish. It is found in the rivers of Assyria, and it is hatched only there. I am also found in those parts. I said to him, Is there not something else about you, Asmode? He said to me, The power of God which binds me with unbreakable bonds by his seal knows that what I have related to you is true. I beg you, King Solomon, do not condemn me to water. But I smiled and replied, As the Master, the God of my father lives, you shall have irons to wear, and you shall mold clay for all the vessels of the temple, eliminating the cost of the mold. Then I ordered 10 water jars to be made available, and I commanded him to be encircled by them. Though he complained bitterly, the demon carried out the things which he had been commanded. Asmode did this because he also had knowledge of the future. So I, Solomon, glorified God, who gave me this authority. Then, taking the liver and the gall of the fish, along with a branch of storax, I lit a fire under Asmode, because he was powerful, and his voice was thwarted, as well as a tooth full of venom. Chapter 6. Then I summoned Big B to appear before me again. When he was seated, I thought it appropriate to ask him, Why are you alone, Prince of the Demons? He replied, Because I am the only one left of the heavenly angels who fell. I was the highest ranking angel in heaven, the one called Big B. There also accompanied me another ungodly angel, whom God cut off, and now, imprisoned here, he holds in his power the race of those bound by me into Tartarus. He is being nurtured in the Red Sea. When he is ready, he will come in triumph. I said to him, What are your activities? He replied, I bring destruction by means of tyrants. I cause the demons to be worshipped alongside men. And I arouse desire in holy men and select priests. I bring about jealousies and murders in a country, and I instigate wars. Then I said to him, Bring to me the one you said is being nurtured in the Red Sea. He retorted, I will bring no one back to you, but there will come a certain demon whose name is let's call him FP, who will bind him and bring him out of the sea, out of the abyss. I responded, Tell me why he is in the abyss of the Red Sea, and what his name is. He, however, said, Do not ask me. You are not able to learn that from me. He will come to you because I too am with you. So I said to him, Tell me, in which star you reside. The one called by men the evening star, he said. Then I said, Tell me which angel thwarts you. The Almighty God, he replied. He is called by the Hebrews Pataik, the one who descends from the heights. He is called by the Greeks Emmanuel. I am always afraid of him and trembling. If anyone adjures me with the oath called the Eloi, a great name, for his power I disappear. Now when I, Solomon, heard these things, I commanded him to cut blocks of Theban marble. And as he was beginning to cut, all the demons cried out with a loud voice because he was their king, Big B. Nevertheless, I, Solomon, persisted in interrogating him, saying, If you wish to obtain a release, inform me about heavenly things. Bigby replied, Listen, king. If you burn oil of myrrh, frankincense, and bulbs of the sea, along with spikenard and saffron, light 7 lamps during an earthquake, you will strengthen your house. And if, being ritually clean, you light them at the crack of dawn, just before the sun comes up, you will see the heavenly dragons and the way they wriggle along and pull the chariot of the sun. When I, Solomon, heard these things, I rebuked him and said, Be silent, and continue cutting marble, just as I ordered you. After I praised God, this is chapter 7. After I praised God, I, Solomon, requested the presence of another demon, and he appeared before me. He was bearing his face on the air, high above the remaining part of his body, and the remaining part of his body was crawling along like a little snail. Suddenly he broke through a large contingent of soldiers, raised up a blustering cloud of dust from the earth, transported it upward, and hurled it against me many times. While I watched in amazement, I exclaimed, What do we have here? But this continued for a long time. When I stood up, I spit on the ground at the spot, and I sealed him with the ring of God. As a result, the moving air stopped. Then I asked him, saying, Who are you? And he stirred up another cloud of dust. He answered me, What do you want, King Solomon? I answered him, Where am I? Tell me what you are called also. I want to interrogate you. Thus I give thanks to God who instructs me as to how to respond to their evil plots. So the demon said to me, I am called Lixti. What is your activity? I queried. He responded, I create divisions among men. I make whirlwinds, I set fires, I set fields on fire, and I make households non-functional. Usually, I carry on my activity in the summertime. If I get the chance, I slither in under the corners of houses during the night or day. I am the direct offspring of the Great One. I asked him, In which constellation do you reside? He replied, Toward the very tip of the horn of the moon, when it is found in the south. There is my star. Therefore, I was assigned to draw out the fever which strikes for a day and a half. As a result, many men, when they see this, pray about the day and a half fever, invoking these 3 names, Baal, Tala, Thallal, and Melchal. And I heal them. Then I, Solomon, said to him, But when you wish to do evil, who grants you the power? He replied, The angel by whom also the day and a half fever is stopped. Finally I asked him, By what name are you thwarted? He responded, The name of the archangel Azael. Then I placed my seal on the demon and commanded him to pick up stones and hurl them up to the heights of the temple for the workmen. Compelled, the demon complied with his orders. Chapter 8. Again, I glorified God, who gave me this authority, and I commanded another demon to appear before me. There came 7 spirits, bound up together, hand and foot, fair of form and graceful. When I, Solomon, saw them, I was amazed and asked them, Who are you? They replied, We are heavenly bodies, rulers of this world of darkness. The first said, I am deception. The second said, I am strife. The third said, I am fate. The fourth said, I am distress. The fifth said, I am error. The sixth said, I am power. The seventh said, I am the worst. Our stars in heaven look small, but we are named like gods. We changed our position together and we lived together, sometimes in Lydia, sometimes in Olympus, sometimes on the great mountain. Then I, Solomon, continued questioning them, beginning with the first. Tell me what you do. He responded, I am deception. I plot deception and I devise the most evil heresies. But there is one who thwarts me, the angel Lemechel. The second said, I am strife. I cause strife by making available clubs, pellets, and swords, my implements of war. But I have an angel who thwarts me, Beruchiel. Likewise, the third said, I am called Fate. I cause every man to fight in battle rather than make peace honorably with those who are winning. But why am I talking so much? There is an angel who thwarts me. Marmaroth. The fourth, Distress, said, I cause men to lack moderation. I divide them into factions. I keep them separated. Since strife follows in my footsteps, I set men against each other and do many similar things to them. But why am I talking so much? There is an angel who thwarts me, the great Bethuel. The fifth said, I am error, King Solomon, and I am leading you into error, and I led you into error when I made you kill your brothers. I lead people into error by hunting for graves, and I teach them how to dig them up. I lead men's minds to stray away from religion, and I do many other bad things. However, there is an angel who thwarts me, Uriel. Likewise, the sixth said, I am power. I raise up tyrants, I depose kings, and I grant power to all those who are enemies. There is an angel who thwarts me, Atzeroth. Similarly, the seventh said, I am the worst, and you, king, I shall harm when I order you to be bound with the bonds of Artemi. Because these things affect you, you have desire like a beloved one, but to me that is a desire which corresponds to myself, which is wisdom. For if anyone is wise, he will not follow in my steps. But I, Solomon, when I heard these things, sealed them with the ring of God, and commanded them to dig the foundation of the temple. I stretched out 250 cubits in length. So all the things which were commanded them were accomplished. Whew. I forgot how long this was. Yeah, I'm not probably going to finish it. It's 26 chapters. Yeah, it's 26 chapters, and we're coming up on chapter 10. I should have had some tea or something here ready or something. Okay. Chapter 9. Again, I asked that other demons visit me in succession, and there was brought to me a demon, a man who had all his limbs but no head. I said to him, Tell me who you are and what you are called. The demon replied, I am called Murder, for I devour heads, wishing to get a head for myself, but I do not consume enough. I long for a head to do exactly what you do, king. When I heard these things, I stretched out my hand against his chest and put my seal on him. Then the demon jumped, tore himself loose, and muttered, saying, Woe is me! How did I fall in with a traitor? I do not see. So I said to him, How is it possible for you to see? He replied, Through my breast. When I, Solomon, heard the delight in his voice, I wished to learn more. So I asked him, How is it possible for you to speak? He responded, My voice has taken over voices from many men, for I have closed up the heads from among men who are called dumb. When infants are 10 days old, and if one cries during the night, I become a spirit and I rush in and attack the infant through his voice. What is more, my visit to premature infants is harmful. My strength happens to reside in my hands, that is, like that which takes place at an executioner's block. I grab hold of heads, cut them off, and attach them to myself. Then, by the fire which is continually burning in me, I consume them through my neck. I am the one who inflames the limbs, inflicts the feet, and produces festering sores. It is by a fiery flash of lightning that I am thwarted. I ordered him to stay with Big B until the time when a friend might arrive. Chapter 10. Then I ordered another demon to make his presence before me. He came before me in the form of a gigantic dog, and he spoke to me in a loud voice. Hail, O King Solomon! And I was astounded and said to him, Who are you, dog? He said, You suppose that I am a dog, but before your time, king, I was a man. I accomplished many unlawful deeds in the world, and I was extremely strong, that I restrained the stars of heaven. And now I am preparing more evil works. Consequently, I deceive men who follow my star closely, and I lead them into stupidity. I also subdue their hearts. I also subdue the hearts of men through their throats, and in this way I destroy them. I said to him, What is your name? He replied, Scepter. Then I said to him, What is your activity, and why do you seem to be so prosperous? The demon said, Turn over your manservant to me, and I shall spirit him off to a place in the mountains where I shall show him an emerald stone shaken loose from its foundation. With it you shall adorn the temple of God. When I heard these things, I immediately ordered my household servant to accompany him and to take the ring bearing God's seal with him. I told him, Go with him, and whoever shows you the emerald stone, seal him with the ring. Observe the place in detail, and bring the ring back to me. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And bring the ring back to me. So when the demon went out and showed him the emerald stone, the household servant sealed him with the ring of God and brought the emerald stone back to me. I then decided to have the two demons, the headless one and the dog, bound, and to request that the stone be carried about day and night, like as it were a lightning for the working artisans. Next I extracted from that moving stone 200 shekels for the supports of the altar, for the stone was shaped like a leek. Then I, Solomon, when I had glorified the Master God, locked up the treasure chest containing the stone, and commanded the demons to cut marble for the construction of the temple. Also I asked the dog in private, By which angel are you thwarted? He replied, By the great Braithos. So I'm going to wrap it up there. My voice is just not holding up right now. And obviously I'm a little bit out of breath, being 7 months pregnant here. With this belly, it's just not a whole lot of room. So anyway, hopefully I'll pick it up and I will read chapters 12 through 26. Or maybe I'll do it in 3 parts and read like 12 to, 20 or something, and then 20 through 26. We'll see. We'll see if you guys watch this video and like this video. If you guys do, if you guys enjoy the reading, then I'll pick it up. If not, there's an introduction. You guys can finish the reading on your own. So yeah, anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys talk to your children about, holidays and things like that. If you don't celebrate, I'm always interested. I made a Facebook post and I wasn't joking, but I was playfully saying, my children don't even know that like today's Halloween really. Like they know what Halloween is, they know when it's coming because of the stores and everything like that, but it's just another day. They don't ask about it, they don't care. It's just they played outside with a friend who also doesn't celebrate, I guess, and just had a normal day, and I didn't hear anything else about it. And my point was that I think sometimes we push it on children, and children really do not care. Like, they just don't be caring, but we make them care from basically infancy. Then we create an expectation. Whereas if we just don't do that, oftentimes I realize that children just don't care. So anyway, let me know, you guys. Until next time, Im Yirtzeh Hashem, if God wills. Bye, everyone.